Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse DC Direct Page Puncher Brainiac. This guy is part of the newest Page Puncher wave, which is a Superman themed wave. I picked this guy up at Target along with the rest of the wave, so let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see, he's in the traditional Page Puncher clamshell package. Top, DC, McFarlane Toys, age of 12 plus, includes exclusive comic book in the English language. DC Direct, Brainiac, here he's in the package. Looks like we have a bunch of different removable arms, tentacles, that sort of stuff. Pretty blank on both sides. At the back, here's Brainiac, Superman Ghost of Krypton comic, issue number 4 of 4. And at the bottom, there is his barcode in case that helps anybody. So with no further ado, let's open him up. And here's both the regular version of Brainiac and the Platinum Chase version. And I did pick up the entire Page Puncher wave at Target, including the Platinum Chase variant of Bowzod and Brainiac. Another wave checked off the list. Alright, now that these figures out of the package, here they are with all their accessories laid out. They both come with a collector's card, display stand, a comic book, Ghost of Krypton number 4, and then 5 different attachments or tentacles or different various arms to attach to his back. Before I look at all that, let's talk about and check out the figures. So this is Brainiac, both the regular version on the left and the Platinum Chase version on the right. Brainiac is typically a super intelligent android from the planet Colo who is obsessed with collecting knowledge in the known universe. He travels the galaxy and shrinks cities to bottle size for preservation in his skull-shaped spaceship, and then destroys the original planet or city because he considers the knowledge he has more powerful. He's the only one that has access to it. He's usually sort of an AI that's intended for good, but ends up turning evil and gets carried away. So this is Brainiac from the comic story Superman Ghost of Krypton. It's basically Brainiac with a little bit of McFarlane flair to him. And not only that, we have the Platinum version, which has some sort of traditional Brainiac looks to it, the green skin, etc., etc. They both look pretty cool, both look pretty weird at the same time. So let's take a look. Starting with the regular version, you can see his face here. He has the 3 little dots, signature to Brainiac. The detailing is actually fantastic. Look at the sort of purple eyes, the purple dots, the purple on his chest. Very well done. Almost looks like energy sticking out of this mechanical thing. He has all the different sort of plugs for his attachments on his back. He's got a robot body, very uniquely done. It does have double jointed elbows and double jointed knees. Feet are very small, kind of difficult to stand this guy up. Once you get the right way, leave it there. Now, here he is with legs completely straight up. Maybe they're supposed to be bent. We'll see if we're able to stand him that way. Very unique hip joints. He's got this sort of hook for a hand here and a regular hand on the other side. The sculpt is just fantastic all over this guy. I mean, look at the texturing on his head. Whoever sculpted this did a fantastic, intricate job. Very nice. And then there's the Platinum Chase variant. So, look at him. He has Brainiac's signature skin. Oh my god, it's almost like a Jokerized Brainiac. He looks freaky. Look at those big white eyes with pink around them. 3 dots on his forehead again. That crazy sinister smile. Like I said, it looks freaky. It looks kind of scary. Top of his head, a lot different than the other guy. Looks like the rest of the body is probably the same sculpt but different paint job. See, the energy is quite a bit different on him. He doesn't have it in the middle. A lot of black on this guy. Silver, gray. Looks like the same sort of articulation, double jointed elbows and knees. Same small feet. So I think the same figure from the neck down, but the head is a new sculpt, which is unusual. Usually the Platinum Chase variants have no new sculpting parts, but who knows, McFarlane, they're switching stuff up all the time. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Very well done. This is a unique design for Brainiac, but he's looked so many different ways over the years. This could easily fill in for a comic version as well. Then, the Platinum Chase version of Brainiac almost looks like a Jokerized version, but he has the traditional green skin. He looks crazy. I like it a lot. I like them both. In the comic, there are a bunch of different Brainiac drones, and I believe that's what this guy represents. Well, not this one, but both these guys. Now let's check out their accessories, starting off with the boring stuff. Here's their display stand, typical McFarlane stand we've seen a million times before. It's a black circle, says DC on the bottom, thin, and basic. Now for their collector's cards. We have both the regular and the Platinum Chase versions card in front of you. They look exactly the same, and I wish they would do something different. Maybe give it a silver border or a platinum border. Just something to differentiate the cards would be nice. They used to do that. That being said, this is a replica of Superman Ghosts of Krypton number 4. It's got Brainiac on the front, Brainiac. On the back side, there is a description, but it's not really describing Brainiac, just sort of the scenario in this comic. And speaking of the comic, here it is, Superman Ghosts of Krypton number 4. Now, I appreciate the fact that they gave it 4 different issues, so we have an actual storyline. Huge step in the right direction for the page puncher line. What I don't like is the fact that both the regular and the Platinum Chase versions look exactly the same. They have the same cover. There should be something at least a little bit different to reward you for getting the Platinum version. Superman Ghosts of Krypton number 4. We have Brainiac on the front here. If you open the book, you can see Brainiac's skull ship here. And it looks like we have the ghost of General Zod here, and it looks like Brainiac is sort of merging with him. The two Supermen working together. Definitely merging with General Zod's consciousness. And we have a whole army of Brainiac drones. Here's a look at Superman Ghosts of Krypton numbers 1 through 4. Each figure comes with a corresponding comic, and I'm sure you can tell which figure comes with which comic. Now it's really cool, they actually give us 4 different issues, so we have a whole story to explain this wave of figures. The previous couple waves of page punchers had 4 different cover variations of the same issue. And before that, they even had the same covers of only issue number 1. Now we have a full story to tell. Now the only thing I think they could still do better with the comics is give the Platinum Chase variants a cover variant of sorts. They did that with some of the previous waves, but not this one. Just duplicate covers of Val Zod and Brainiac. Now let's look at his attachments. We have a bunch of sort of tentacles or different arms with various attachments on the end. 2 pretty small ones, 2 medium ones, and 1 longer one. Now I looked at pictures online to figure out which one goes where. Here's Brainiac without those attachments, and here he is with those attachments connected. As you can see, we have a couple of regular tentacles, and they do have articulation, goes back and forth. I've had this guy for a little over a week now, and this piece just comes out so easily. Kind of annoying. He's got a couple of little arms at the top. They move up and down. And then we have this sort of clamp thing. It can rotate around, and it's also going to be hinged. So, pretty cool little features here, even though it looks quite weird to say the least. And here's the Platinum version with his attachments connected. Exact same attachments, but they're mostly done in black. Same crazy arms. Overall, it's a pretty cool and wild design for Brainiac. Now I wanted to check out the reuse and differences between these 2 Brainiac figures. And for the most part, it's a different paint job, but there are some sculpting differences, so let's take a look. Obviously, their heads are completely different. This one has a robotic head, and this one has sort of the interior part exposed. They both look absolutely excellent. Very nice job. You can see the arms exactly the same, different paint job. As we go further down, it looks like the torso is the same paint job. Like we have the pink down here, it's not painted here. Here it's painted, here it's not. Really brings out the sculpt in completely different ways. The hand, it does appear to be simply a repaint. We have the middle fingers here, and then the green flesh fingers here, and it works. You can see what a paint job makes quite a difference. Beyond that, it's 100% the same figure, just a sort of black and silver paint job here, and this one is pretty much a gray or darker silver paint job. And like I said, they both look excellent. I could potentially see somebody army building this regular version here, a Brainiac drone, having a bunch of them, and then maybe this could be the Brainiac leading them into battle. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, he's standing at about 7.1 inches tall, which can translate to around 18 centimeters. And if we go to the top of that large arm, 8.2 inches tall. And for his articulation, which is going to be exactly the same on both the figures. So, the attachments are articulated. Most of them can simply move from side to side. But this top one here can rotate, and it's going to be hinged. His head here is on a ball joint, rotate from side to side, can look up and down a very good amount, can even tilt his head at least a little bit from side to side. Shoulders on a ball joint, goes up about 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. It has rotation and it's hinged. Then his elbow here, double jointed, and it goes all the way in. There's also rotation. And then his wrist here, if that's even what you call it, it really looks like there's an articulated ball joint there, but it's just for show. It doesn't move at all. Other one here, he does have a more traditional wrist, can rotate around, and it's hinged. His torso is one solid piece. He's got a ball joint in his waist, rotate around, forward and back. Legs, complete does splits. Well, not completely, but they go out about this far. Then go forward all the way, back about that far. He's got double jointed knees, and not having much luck with the top half, but it's going to go back all the way. I'll have to free that up here in just a second. Then his ankle is a ball joint in it, forward and back, tilt, rock, rotation, and he's one of the few McFarlane figures without toe articulation. And honestly, they're not that hard to stand up. Their feet may be small, but they're very flat, and their ankles are not loose at all. So once you get them in the right position, they're really not that hard to stand up and down. Here are these Brainiac figures working together to control and manage the Skull ship. Here's a look at these two Brainiac figures in the control room of the Skull ship. And if you wanted a more traditional Brainiac, you could have these guys as Brainiac drones controlled by the actual Brainiac himself. Now let's check them out. Next is some of their action figures, starting off with some of their Brainiac figures. Here they are with McFarlane's Injustice 2 Brainiac, a little bit more of a traditional design, and they did both a regular and Platinum Chase variant of this one as well, and I like that. I like having an army of Brainiacs. Now I still need to get the Superpowers Brainiac and the Skull ship, both variations of both the figure and the Skull ship, and whenever McFarlane ships mine I'll have them. It would be nice to have them with these guys, but they're coming soon. They also kind of give me vibes from McFarlane's Warhammer 40,000 Necron. This is a Flayed 1 version, both the regular and Platinum Chase variants. And also, to a lesser extent, they also give me some Terminator T-800 vibes. I don't know, the skull and sort of neck area definitely scream Brainiac to me from the T-800. The only other Brainiac figure that I have is the DC Direct Alex Ross Justice Brainiac. But as you can tell, I customized him, and he no longer resembles Brainiac. I actually got 5 of those Brainiac figures, and customized them into Professor Pig's Dolatrons from Batman Arkham Knight. Now let's check them out. Next is some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here they are, next to the rest of their wave. This is the most recent Page Puncher wave. Superman, Ghost of Krypton. We have both the regular and armored Platinum Chase variant of Val Zod. Then both the regular and Platinum Chase variant of Brainiac, the armored Superman, and the Ghost of General Zod. Here's Brainiac, next to the Target exclusive Cassandra Cain Batgirl and Rival. And here they are, next to the most recent Batman wave. We have both the red and blue Platinum Chase variants of Azrael and his Batman armor, the black and gray Nightfall Batman, and both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of the first appearance Detective Comics 27 Batman. Then, next to the JLA wave, Collectible Plastic Man, we have both the blue and Platinum Chase red versions of Superman, 2 completed versions of Plastic Man, Black Suit Batman, regular and Platinum Aquaman, and then regular and Platinum John Stewart Green Lantern figures. And now, with the digital wave, we have the Silver Age Hal Jordan Green Lantern, the DC Rebirth Batman, and the DC Classics Aquaman. Here they are, next to the Amazon exclusive Kilowog and Kyle Rayner Green Lantern 2-pack. And finally, next to the Walmart exclusive Wally West Flash and Vampire Nightwing. Now let's check them out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how they fit in both scale and style-wise, in case you will know designs you can mix them with. Since they're McFarlane toys, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start with my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect. They work way smaller. But first, let's check them out with some of the McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. And now, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures. and some DST or Diamond Select toys. Here they are, next to a can of Pringles. And here they are, with some DC Direct and NECA figures. Then, with both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now, with some Mezco and Mattel DC figures. Next, with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, with some SH Figure Arts and some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, these are some cool Brainiac figures. They're very unique. They're not like any McFarlane DC Multiverse figures that I've ever seen. In the comic, he has a bunch of different Brainiac drones, and if you want to, you can use these for those, or you can use it for a regular Brainiac. There's just a lot of different options here. They're both very cool, very unique. Robotic bodies, weird articulation, weird joint styles, thin legs, but they look fantastic, and they really both do. The sculpt and paint job are excellent, no issues there. Articulation, it's kind of weird, but it's pretty good. Their accessories, well, they don't have any traditional accessories, but they have a bunch of different swappable parts. Which one of these guys do I like better? That's a hard decision. As a whole, I think I like the original version better. It just screams more Brainiac. But the other one looks so weird and bizarre. I think I like them equally. They're both really nice, unique type figures. McFarlane should make more stuff like this, stuff that's a little sort of out there. And they're doing plenty of that with the Joker Eye stuff, etc., but that's different. This is Brainiac that has a McFarlane twist, but can be used as a regular Brainiac. And as a whole, I think it came out pretty good. Some of the attachable parts, they don't really move that much. They kind of get in the way when you're handling the figure, etc., but it's cool to have different options. If I were to rate these guys, probably going to give them a 7.5 out of 10. They're nice figures. Their articulation is a little bit weird. They're kind of hard to stand, and their attachments don't really do all that much, but they're still really, really nice to look at. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.